The Forbidden City, even the name whispers of power and mystery. A sprawling complex of golden roofs and crimson walls, it stands as a testament to the might of Imperial China. For centuries it was the heart of the Middle Kingdom, a place of emperors and empresses, of intrigue and grandeur. Within its walls, history unfolded. Dynasties rose and fell. The fate of millions was decided. The Forbidden City was more than just a palace. It was a city within a city, a microcosm of the Chinese universe. Its 980 buildings, with their intricate carvings and expansive courtyards, were designed to inspire awe and submission. The Forbidden City was a symbol of the emperor's absolute authority, a physical manifestation of his divine mandate. From the Hall of Supreme Harmony, the emperor surveyed his domain. Here he received tributes from foreign dignitaries. He issued decrees that shaped the lives of millions. The Forbidden City was a stage for the performance of imperial power. Its rituals and ceremonies reinforced the emperor's status as the Son of Heaven. But behind the facade of splendor and might, a darker reality lurked. The Forbidden City was also a place of secrets, of unspeakable cruelty and of unimaginable suffering. Its beauty was built on the backs of the oppressed, its grandeur sustained by a system of fear and control. The construction of the Forbidden City was a monumental undertaking, a testament to both human ingenuity and human suffering. It began in 1406, under the reign of the Yongle Emperor of the Ming dynasty. Millions of laborers, conscripted from across the empire, toiled for years to realize the emperor's vision. They came from all walks of life: farmers, artisans, criminals, prisoners of war. Many left their homes and families, never to return. The work was brutal and unforgiving. The laborers faced scorching heat and bitter cold, their bodies pushed to the limit. Accidents were commonplace. Disease spread like wildfire through the cramped and unsanitary living quarters. Countless lives were lost during the construction of the Forbidden City. Their names, forgotten by history, are etched in the very stones of the palace. Their sacrifice, a silent testament to the human cost of imperial ambition. The Forbidden City, for all its beauty, was built on a foundation of blood and bone. The materials used in the construction were as impressive as the scale of the labor. Precious woods, like sandalwood and rosewood, were transported from the distant forests of Southeast Asia. Giant marble blocks, quarried in the mountains north of Beijing, were dragged hundreds of miles by teams of men and animals. The Forbidden City was not just a construction project. It was a symbol of the emperor's power, his ability to command the resources of the entire empire. The human cost, though immense, was of little consequence to the rulers who resided within its walls. The name Forbidden City was no exaggeration. It was a city off-limits to ordinary citizens. High walls, patrolled by elite guards, separated the emperor and his court from the outside world. To enter without permission was to court death. Even those who lived and worked within the palace walls were subject to constant surveillance and strict regulations. Life within the Forbidden City was governed by an elaborate system of rules and rituals. Every action, every movement was dictated by tradition and protocol. The emperor, considered semi-divine, was at the center of this rigid hierarchy. His every whim was law, his displeasure could mean exile or death. The Forbidden City was a place of whispers and shadows. Rumors and gossip spread like wildfire through the corridors of power. Alliances were formed and broken in secret. Ambition and jealousy festered behind polite smiles. The stakes were always high. A single misstep, a careless word, could have deadly consequences. Even within their own households, the emperor's wives and concubines were not safe. Rivalries between them were fierce. They schemed and plotted for the emperor's favor. Their sons, potential heirs to the throne, were often pawns in these dangerous games. The Forbidden City was a gilded cage, a place of both unimaginable luxury and suffocating confinement. A world of shadows and whispers. The Forbidden City was a world unto itself. It had its own laws, its own customs, its own language. To survive within its walls, one had to master the art of courtly intrigue. A careless word, a misplaced glance, could have deadly consequences. At the heart of this world stood the Emperor, a remote and often terrifying figure. He was considered the Son of Heaven, his authority absolute. But even the Emperor was not above the law of the Forbidden City. He too was bound by tradition and ritual, by the expectations of his ancestors and the machinations of his court. The eunuchs, castrated servants who served the Emperor and his family, wielded considerable power within the Forbidden City. They were the Emperor's eyes and ears, privy to the most intimate secrets of the court. Eunuchs controlled access to the Emperor, influenced appointments, and often acted as intermediaries between the ruler and his officials. The Forbidden City was a place of constant surveillance. Spies and informants lurked in the shadows, reporting on every word and deed. Trust was a rare commodity. Betrayal was always a possibility. In this world of shadows and whispers, survival depended on one's ability to navigate the treacherous currents of courtly life. The eunuchs of the Forbidden City were a unique and tragic group. Deprived of their manhood, they were considered less threatening than other men and thus entrusted with intimate access to the Imperial family. They served as guards, attendants, and confidants. Their lives were a study in paradox, both powerful and powerless, both respected and reviled. Eunuchs were often taken from poor families at a young age. The procedure itself was brutal and dangerous. Many died from infection or complications. Those who survived endured a lifetime of physical and emotional pain. They were forever marked by their sacrifice, their voices high-pitched and their movements often awkward. Despite their diminished status, eunuchs could rise to positions of great power and influence. They controlled access to the Emperor, managed the vast imperial household, and often served as the Emperor's most trusted advisors. Some eunuchs amassed great wealth and power, their influence extending far beyond the palace walls. But the eunuch's power was a double-edged sword. They were always vulnerable to the whims of the Emperor and the intrigues of the court. A change in fortune, a jealous rival, could lead to their downfall. Many eunuchs met with tragic ends, their loyalty and service ultimately counting for little.